Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have myself a drink. And we're going to tackle yet another one of my 250 philosophical questions. I believe this is number 52. For those of you who are uninitiated, I consume alcoholic beverages, sometimes not alcoholic beverages, but I consume beverages in these videos because I am a food blogger. And after I blog about things, I have stuff left over. And of course, to be flatly honest with you, as a food blogger, I have to remember what things taste like. So one of the beverages I have in here is Mountain Dew. Not because, well, I did review the Mountain Dew because I hadn't already. But I might purchase something like this Pepsi, not because I need to review it, but because I need to remember what Pepsi tastes like. So if I don't consume them sometime, they sit around, and if I consume them too fast, I get sick. So, hence. Anyway, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. So if you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'll be taking an opportunity to do something for a better world. Now, are children as curious as adults? I don't know if children are really all that curious. I mean, yeah, okay. Thought I heard something. I used to ask my father a lot of questions. Okay, but now as an adult, I have Google. Didn't have that when I was a kid. I'm an old man. And as an old man, I know a lot more. I'm still very curious. I'm always reading. I'm always enriching myself. That's kind of the reason you watch the news, is curiosity. Although, I remember when I was a child, no, was I a child? When I was in my 20s, I encountered a woman, actually, no, in high school. I was definitely in high school. I was at the store with my father. And I was a fan of the Phantom of the Opera. And I encountered a woman whose son was obsessed with the Phantom of the Opera. And she said, he wants to know everything about him. And, the Phantom of the Opera is a finite thing. It started as a story in a book, and the book was merely inspired by a particular playwright who went to a theater and they found a skeleton from when the theater had been used as a prison. Okay. There's a thing there. So at some point in my life, I went out and read The Phantom of the Opera, and I learned all about him because that was all there was to learn. Now, why this child didn't do the same, why I didn't do the same when I was at that age, is a good question. I would assume he eventually grew up to buy a copy of The Phantom of the Opera as I did, and read the book as I did. I still haven't read The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Anyway, I do a lot of reading. I'm a very well-read person. People are always telling me how well-read they think I am. In fact, I am probably going to, right after filming this video, go into the next room and look up some news stories and make short videos about them. That's what I do. So my curiosity has never wavered. As far as other people, I don't know if they're as curious because, as an adult, you should know more than a child. Of course, then I remember when a child asked me, when did you need to know what a Golgi apparatus was? Now, a Golgi apparatus is an organelle. An organelle inside a single cell. Golgi apparati, I believe, have something to do with digestion. It's been quite some time since I've learned about the Golgi apparati. But of course, at the time, I found that fascinating. She didn't. One of those things you have to understand is not all children have an equal level of curiosity. If you could separate the world into all children and all adults and, somehow gauge their level of curiosity, some adults, they're called scientists or perhaps sociologists, I guess that would still be science, dedicate their lives to learning what we don't already know. There are anthropologists who go and spend full years with other cultures just to find out more about them. There are, doctorates of divinity that dedicate their lives to reading scriptures and history. There are historians, of course. There are people who have literally spent their entire life being curious. So, yeah, I would say that adults are just as curious as children. Not all children are very curious. In any case, that's my thoughts on the matter. I'm Richard. Danger Ducky says it is now time for you to comment, like, and subscribe, and support this channel so we can do things like save the world by removing trash from the ocean, planting trees, and feeding orphans. Danger Ducky approves.